tech now is like it's no longer how it was before, where we have a transition from having a gap of 5 years, 10 years. Now it's every second new product to the market, every second new ideas are coming to the market, and then you just see somebody just because he has this ChatGPT or he has this cloud, you can like code anyway, try to like code anything there. You see everybody just try not to out everything, like you just want to bring up that idea and just make it happen and stuff like that. So if you check every young person, like yours, if you used to realize something find about the ecosystem, right? Surrounded by billion people, developers who could anything, designers who could make interface look magical, and visionaries who could see the future, right? See people with different ideas, like. But now some people now have limitation. You could see somebody who could code, and then probably he's just probably just like coding and then dropping on his project, and then he's not earning, he's not doing anything with that project. And then you could see somebody who is a graphic designer working for other people, and then just giving it things. I could see somebody that is an overthinker, and then he thinks a lot, he has ideas, but he don't know how to implement it because he does not have the necessary skills, right? Like the code, him coding his ideas to life, or probably him putting visuals and marketing himself out there, right? So, but now we now think of creating a system where those three people, yes, can come together. Now they don't even have to have any barrier, right? Those three people can come together. The coder can come together, the graphic designer can come together, and then the person marketing can come together, and they can work on that idea, right? And bring it like that essence, right? Work on raw ideas, work on like I don't know, but we furnish ideas by with the concept of strategy of unity, collaboration, right? Bring everything together to bring that same idea that you had to life. Now you see people are stuck by no money, no money. So the strategy is you now see that every person in this forum, because all of us I know we are young, all of us are young, and everybody in this forum and any young entrepreneurs out there can bring this idea to life and not be stuck by strategy. So I think the next one, I hope we all understand. So the vision is to bring us all together to be able to do something. So in this phase, we are in a phase of learning, right? You have to learn, and then you have to, after learning, then you now implement, right? So we are taking you to understand these strategies or these steps we are taking. So now is the place of learning. So as I am like this, I can't tell you anything about system to revenue. I think our speaker is going to do a whole lot justice to that. I think he's on the call right now. So I will tell you a little bit about our speaker. Yes, our speaker. So just give me a minute. Okay. Okay, so I think I've met with our speaker sometime, and I've seen its impact within the campus. Yes. So our speaker for today is Mr. Emmanuel Jibogun. He's a leading consultant specialist in building disruptive brand. He has 5 years experience, and I can confirm to that in developing viral marketing strategies to scale startups and grow business. He's an alumni of Federal University of Technology with both degrees and masters in architectures. He's founder of JL Media. Yes, that is African Fast Growing Market Agency and director of Growth Plan. Yeah, I think Growth Plan. I am part of Growth Plan, an exclusive community of next generation global business leaders and disruptive innovation. And he is also the founder of Creator Academies, the Elites Creative Army Training Camp. So Emmanuel attribute the remarkable success of his great dedication and skill team and team who have helped drive results for high profit business leaders and industries now. His mission is to inspire, guide, and empower the next generation to make global impact and drive meaningful change. All right. Okay, so with a warm welcome, I will love us to give a clap for our speaker for today, even as it comes up. Give it, can you give a clap, thumbs up, anything, react, an emoji as we welcome our speaker. So, Mr. Emmanuel, the stage is over to you, sir.
Right. Hello, good evening, everyone, or good morning and good afternoon, depending on the time and country you are listening to me from. Right. So, how have you been? How has the evening been? Let me just hear our voices.
Please, we should respond, right? It's a virtual event. We should not be shy. Everybody can speak here. Everybody can talk here. So, how are you guys doing?
We're doing fine, sir.
Awesome, awesome. It's good to hear from you. So, just by way of housekeeping, so first of all, I'd like to appreciate our host, in person of Mr. Enoch Suleiman. That is the founder of the Young Entrepreneurs. Yeah, can we appreciate him? And then also co-founder Agnes Appa and Bray Thomas. It's good to be here. Thank you for putting this together. I know my voice is low, but over time I would speak out more. But can we just appreciate them? Can we appreciate them? It's an amazing initiative, and we look towards the vision coming to life and bearing more fruits. Right. So I can see Anastasia Migo. Pardon if I mispronounce your name. Right. If I call your name, you can just wave or give an emoji or reply hi. Alright, so Anastasia Miko, see Chigozie Fred, see Bimsola Ojute, that's my COO of I can see Bure Thomas, I can see Isaac in there, I can see Lawal Abdurazak, Logan Dewise, good to see you. And I can see Oge Ogwezi. Oge Ogwezi is the CEO of Geo Media. It's good to see you here, ma'am. I can see Fabian Dewise, good to see you. Okay, we have two wise men here. Awesome, awesome. I can see Peter Israel. It's good to see you. And Versal Academy. All right. Okay, so once again, welcome everyone. And trust me, it's going to be a life changing moment. It's going to be very brief, but a life changing one. All right. So I'm going to increase my voice, God helping, but let me just take a toll. But on a scale of 1 to 10, how audibly can you hear? How audibly can you hear like this? So it's been a long day. I'm trying to still conserve energy. How audibly can you hear me on the scale of 1 to 10? You can type in the comments. To find the comments, you see three dots at the bottom of your screen. Once you click on it, then you see chat. Click on the chat and then to show you where the comments is. Alright, I see a 7. That's a good number. So I'll try to sustain. So I have slides and I'm going to be sharing the slides shortly. Right, but um I really conversation. I want us to talk, yeah, because I don't want it to just be me speaking at us. I would rather that we discuss, we converse. Okay, so it's 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 a funny, I don't know the word to use. Should I say complex terrain? The fact that business as a Nigerian, you are already somewhat disadvantaged just because you're a Nigerian. I was just in a meeting with founders in different countries and stuff like that, but it's a lot easier for them per se because they're in a different terrain. They're talking about their government policies, how they have establishment, how they have policies to help them thrive. And I'm just thinking, uh, but in our own case, it's not the same. It's not the same. So it looks like just because you're in Nigeria and you're somewhat disadvantaged. I don't know if I'm saying the truth. So I found out, for instance, in the creative industry, that we are the best creators. Maybe Indians might compete with us, but Nigerians qualify as some of the best creators. I've seen programs that US people do, and their designs are very terrible. Trust me, their videos, oh my god, very very terrible stuff. But then when Nigerians create, there's always a quality, there's a steez, there's a standard, and you know that okay, these guys are good, right? Indians are the only ones that compete with Nigerians in terms of work ethic and our drive for excellence. So we're actually good guys, and we should really celebrate ourselves. Right, so I'd like to start by celebrating every person here. You're a business owner, a founder, a creator, whatever you are. Just know that you're not bad, you're not struggling, it's not your fault per se. You are just put or happen to be in a system that puts you should I say, that puts you aback, that disadvantages you. There's no word like that, but permit me to use that word. So I'm saying it just to be an encouragement to us to say you're doing a lot. Trust me, you're doing a lot. Resist the temptation to feel like a failure. Resist the temptation to feel like what you're doing is not working. It just happened that you are in Nigeria. Alright. So that said, I was talking to my guys the night. Yeah, I run a community called the Growth Clan Night, and I was telling them that I was giving them 5 keys of the 1%, the 0.01%, their mindset, and one of those keys is on a record. If you need a record after this session, I could share it with you. I was telling them one of those keys is the fact that you never blame anyone. The 0.1% never blame anyone for their flaws or for their current situations. It's always their fault. Alright, the reason is because despite the fact that we are Nigerians and we seem to be disadvantaged, we are all still playing the same game. There are still people that, with this same disadvantage, they still found a way to find a way, right? I always say this to my guys at Geo Media: you can either find a way or find an excuse. You can't find both. Right? Did you get that? You can either find a way or find an excuse. You can't find both. Right? So you can either choose to say because of the government did this, because of our school is this, because there's no access to funding, because things are tough, because there's an inflation, because the rates are high. That you can keep giving excuses, or you can choose to find way. Let me give an instance. I remember in Corona period when a lot of people were complaining, a lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of people were just in that situations. But then even in that same situation, I know a number of people that made their first million in that same time. A number of people made a lot of money in that same period. A number of institutions grew faster in that. Google Meet and platforms like Google Meet, Zoom, Slack, they grew a whole lot more in that same period. Before, everyone was using what is the name of these guys again? People rarely even use Zoom again, right? Or those were the trending guys that time. Skype, MySpace, those were the trending guys. But suddenly, Corona period gave a lot of people an opportunity to thrive. So I'm saying that disadvantage is an opportunity. Just remove this. Every time you see a disadvantage, what it's telling you is that this is an advantage. Right? I didn't come here to drop rhymes, but I think we can note that down. Anytime you find that there's a disadvantage in your situation, in your community, in your environment, in your field, just see it as, separate the this and read it as, this is an advantage. Right? Can we type it together? This is an advantage. This is an advantage. Right? So I want to share my screen, but it's showing that I cannot share it. I don't know whether it's because someone else is already sharing theirs. I'm trying to figure out why. Showing I can't share my screen. Maybe someone in charge of the setting can help edit that while we go ahead. Okay. Right. So maybe probably I'll just send the slides um to the facilitators. So maybe after the session they could share it with us. So who do I send the slides to?
Okay, okay. Just keep speaking in 1 minute, so I will see how we can solve that, and then we can get back to you.
Awesome,
Or
awesome.
yes, for that you know, for that you know.
All right, so in the next few minutes, just a few minutes, want to look into something I call from systems to revenue, how to build businesses that makes money even while you sleep. All right, how to build businesses that makes money even while you sleep. Now, this looks very funny. It looks like a far-fetched tale. It looks like something that, but it's like something that people use to maybe hype or scam people and stuff. But I was listening to additional talk, and he was explaining how literally it's his reality. There are a lot of people that is their reality. I've seen people that are retired even at a young age just because they they needed to work or on something else, on their visions, on their dreams, and all that. So one of the first things I will clarify is that um a job is different from a work, right? There's a key difference between working a job and then working something you are passionate about. I think that's what I'm looking for. Many times you might not be happy at your job, but sometimes you do the job because you want to be able to have time, have resources, and have the freedom to now do the things that you are excited about. Right? Are we together? Come on, can I just get our feedback? Are we together?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we can hear you clearly, sir.
Awesome, awesome. All right. So let's pick on from what I was saying. I said the key difference between someone that is that is an entrepreneur, different between an entrepreneur and a business owner usually is that many people say I don't want to get a job so I can control my own time, I can be my own boss, I can be in charge of my life. But people forget that entrepreneurship is far much worse than owning a job. In fact, I recently learned that some of the richest people, even in the country, are not entrepreneurs. They are 9 to 5 workers. They are workers. CEOs are workers. In case you don't know, CEO does not mean an entrepreneur. CEO just means you are under a board. And in fact, entrepreneurship means that you are answerable to your customers, answerable to finance, answerable to the government, answerable to tax laws, answerable to the banks, answerable to investors. In fact, it just means that you went from working 9 to 5 to working 24 hours. So I'm saying it's not for everybody. First of all, you don't always have to quit a job or start a business or try and sell something. It's good to be a salesman, but then your focus much of the time should not be in hatred towards 9 to 5. I've done 9 to 5 a lot. In fact, I work for a lot of people. If you know me, I have a lot of bosses, a lot of people I work for at the same time. And each of those people I work for have taught me a lot of things. I've learned things from them that I wouldn't have even learned from books. Right. One of the things that I've also learned, especially from my mentor, right, is how to manage and build systems. He would always say this. He would say, if your business can't work without you, if what you are doing can't work without you, then what you are doing is you're just self-employed. You're not running a business, you're just self-employed. So many good businesses fail because it's not because the products are not great, it's not because what they are doing is not good. It's not because their idea is not awesome, but because they don't have systems. Systems are what make up businesses. Now, think of it like a train station. A train station usually is designed to operate even without a driver because tracks have been set, because there's a alarm. There are different engines that work together to keep a train moving. So the driver self is just there for emergency brakes and to monitor the engines. Same thing for a pilot. You know that most of the time the pilot doesn't do anything. say maybe to land. The pilot is just there to observe the systems and to make sure that everything is on track. But there's a system that everything being followed keeps the whole thing running, right? So that's how a business is very much of the time. A business that makes money even while you are not there. You should be able to remove yourself from the equation. And I'd always say something, spend more time working on your business than you do in your business. Now, there are times when I do give a lot of effort, a lot of energy, put myself into the business, but much of the time I'm working on systems and structures. I'm defining the operations, defining roles, who does what, how is what done, and I'm documenting it. Documentation is one of the key ways that anything can be replicatable. If you document, you can. Permit me to quote a scripture. When he told this guy, he said, "Write the vision, make it plain that all will read it and run." It's only people that read it that can run. If you don't write it clearly, people won't run because you didn't write it. And one of the shocking things most of the time is someone says, "I have so many ideas, but I don't have the time to do it all. I don't have the strength." He never said it's you that writes it that will run. He said, "Write it, let people read it and run." You're not meant to be the runner, you're the writer. Everyone has a key role, right? There's this book I read about entrepreneurship and business owners and building businesses. It's a book on the myths on building businesses, and he kept explaining that many people do not understand that there are three types of people in a business. I think this is something you should write down because it's a very expensive theory that I'm about to share for free. So there are three types of people in every business.
Same,
There is the entrepreneur, there is the
Emmanuel,
marketer, and then there's the technician.
same. Every technical issue have been
Right? Are
solved.
you still with me?
Every technical issue have been solved. You can share your screen now.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Okay, can I confirm that we can see my screen? Can I confirm if you can see the screen?
Yes, sir, we can see it, sir.
Okay. So I was saying that please, how clearly how are you seeing full screen or is just part? Okay, let me see if I can fix that. Okay, so let's just go on. I was saying that there are three core aspects of building a business that many people don't realize. One is the entrepreneur, the second is the manager, and the third is the technician. And this is where it gets interesting. Many of us are stuck at being a technician. Now, this is the reason why most people can be very skilled, can be very talented, but yet still be very broke because you're a good person, you are good at what you do, you're a skilled person, and it's awesome to be skilled. But being skilled does not automatically translate to money. I had to learn that the hard way. Being skilled does not translate to income. Being skilled does not translate to income. Right? You can be a technician, and many Nigerians are technicians. That's why I started by saying Indians have skilled people. Nigeria has a lot of skilled people. But then there are technicians. Technicians are good, but technicians are always the ones taking instructions. Technicians are always at the bottom of the ladder. They are always at the bottom of the pyramid. They are always easily replaced. Let's take a poll, for instance. You notice that companies like Meta and Facebook and Google, they fired a lot of people recently. I think even Claude and these guys too that built OpenAI. You know that they fired the engineers that built the AI. That's how terrible it is. Those are technicians. They are good at what they do, but they just successfully build their replacements. A lot of people that are graphic designers now, a lot of people are doing designs in seconds with AI. I can just get one of your design and replicate it with AI. That's how much graphic design is going out of business. Videos now, there are soon videos, video editor, AI video editors now that can create talking head videos. I mean, that's a job that people are trying that used. I think around last year I paid someone almost 200 just to make a talking head video, and now I saw an offer for someone that can do it with AI, can give me almost 10 for just 30K. Like, you can imagine how they've disrupted the system. It has made a lot of people go more broke. See, that is a problem to be a technician, especially at this time. Come on, are you with me? Are we still with me? Okay, so let's assume we can still hear me. If someone can hear, can you reply? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, I can. Yeah, awesome. So, like I said, being a technician is good. You start as a technician, start by understanding the craft, know how it works. If you're in real estate, for instance, you know the craft, you understand the business. Businesses don't fail because the businesses are bad most times. Investments don't fail because the investments are bad. Most of the times, because the investors did not know sufficient enough about the investment. Businesses most of the time fail because the businessmen did not know sufficient enough about the businesses, right? I wanted to give an example about the first time I made a lot. I don't want to call the figures, but the reasons I had issues because I did not invest so much time to know about it. So when a loophole came, I didn't know what to do. Right? If you make it by mistake, you will lose it by mistake. Did you get that? If you make it by mistake, you will lose it by mistake. So it's better to spend enough time to know sufficient information about any investment you want to make. One of the reasons why I have a personal bias with things like crypto. In my opinion, crypto is very similar to gambling. It's taking risks, literally. And I'm not saying it's bad because forex traders, for instance, foreign exchange and all that is a bank is something that is even done in basically stock exchange. Is basically trading. It's the same thing, but crypto is a lot more. The fact that it's not regulated makes it more technical, makes it more, let's say, more like gambling, permit me to say. And the thing is, anything you can't control or see the value in becomes risky, and there's no difference somewhat than just doing sporty bets. I don't know if you get. But when you can measure the value, you can literally explain the value. You can say, okay, this is what the key players benefit. This is what I'm building. The value of what you are giving should not just be by luck. You get? Because if you get it by luck, you lose it when your luck runs out. So you should be able to measure your value and say, okay, this time. One of the things about real estate, I learned this from additional. He said you don't sell land, you don't buy and sell land. That's not real estate. That's not. Real estate means you buy land and then you sell the development, you sell the prospect of, okay, for instance, I some of the guys I was supposed to work one time, they were selling smart cities. I just didn't want to go to that city, so I had to just turn it down. They are selling smart cities, and that's a futuristic city. Literally, it's a futuristic city. So I'm not buying a plot of land. I'm buying the idea that I can live in a city with skyscrapers, with automated doors, with auto saving lights, with, I don't know if you get, with green scope. Everything is appealing to the eye. With therapeutic building. That's a future that you are buying. So me now going to buy is not land I'm buying, it's the development I'm buying. So I'm saying that whatever it is you are doing, see the value in it. See the value in it. All right. So, like I said, let me come back to my three people example. I said they are technicians, and technicians are the first to be replaced. Now, I remember I think it was about 3 years ago I said I wasn't going to be a technician again. Yes, the name of the book is E-Myth. E-Myth, the myth about entrepreneurship. And I said I wasn't going to be a technician again because I had so far I'd done 9 to 5, but my 9 to 5 was like 9 to 10. Because sometimes even at home they're still calling me to do work, and as I'm doing the work I'm still getting queried and getting poor feedbacks and getting shout, and it was like, but this thing I'm doing, no one else can do these things. But then you really appreciate, I know that, I know, but they were all learning phases, they were learning curves. I learned a lot, but at some point I realized that you're at the bottom of the barrel, so you're easily cut off, easily replaced. I now thought about something. I now saw that there were a specific set of people that were not working as much as I was, but they were responsible for more results. I don't know if you get, and those people were earning a lot more. So I started asking myself, I am here and I'm doing this. What are they doing that's get that? Why are they there? And what did they do to get there? So that changed a lot of my mindset. So I stopped learning skills, as it were. I started learning management skills. I started getting management certifications. I started learning leadership. Took courses on strategic management. Even the architecture, I did a master's, for instance. That's a leadership course. When I even went to, for instance, in service, they put me in charge of a site because they realized that, if you study this, you have. I don't know if you get. So it gives you a whole different kind of leverage. You're not just a skilled technician or a draftsman. You are a manager, a project. That's the difference much of the time. But you're responsible for results. Responsible for results. The other person was responsible for outcome. So they paid them peanuts. They could give you. I don't know if you get. But as a manager, you're responsible for results. So you can place your price. Right. Recently, I was supposed to do a job, and I told him I wasn't doing it below, and I already removed my mind from it. In fact, the problem was that how much they are paying the person that is meant to be my senior. So, like me, that I'm the junior, I'm getting paid more than that. I don't know if you get, but because I said I'm not, I can't. I'm responsible for results, and once people see that I'm responsible for results, they would literally give you. I don't know if you get. I learned this from one of my friends. He said, life doesn't give you what you deserve. Life gives you what you demand. So one day hear what I said. Life doesn't give you what you deserve. Life gives you what you demand. Right. So I've talked about the technicians, I've talked about the managers. Managers manage systems. They observe the systems, they see that it works, and then they monitor it and ensure that there's no loophole, there's no gap. And there's a third kind of people, and these are the people that really move and make things work. They are the entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs build systems, entrepreneurs build businesses, entrepreneurs build legacies. And the idea of being an entrepreneur is that you're able to put technicians and managers together to get a system running. Let me say it again. I would advise, if you maybe, I don't watch movies because I don't have the time, but at a period I had to just settle down to watch specific movies on founders, on people that movies like the McDonald's story. I've watched the Facebook story. I've watched, so they just gave me a back end of how these guys actually built their stuff. But the McDonald's system really told me a lot of things about those guys. What they were first just skilled people, so they could only run one restaurant. But then they croak, but he was a salesman. He knows how to sell. So he realized that he was an entrepreneur. He realized that, wait, oh, why are people doing just one when you could have departments all over the world? But they said they tried, they didn't know how to, they couldn't manage, but he knew how to. So what he did was that he built a system, had an SOP, and started selling to people. Long story cut short, he bought it off the business from them, and then now he became the actual CEO of McDonald's. But he didn't change the name. He left the name there because people, it was a cultural name. People liked it. But I don't know if you get, the difference was that he thought like an entrepreneur. He thought, how can I replicate systems? So even while he retired, while he's sleeping, money is still coming to his account. Right? There are different other ways. For instance, people build businesses and sell them because it's working. Vusi, I listened to Vusi just yesterday night, and he said there's more money to back founders than there are founders building businesses. And he literally gave figures and facts, literally, and I've seen it. I've seen it. There are a lot of people that have billions of dollars and they're just looking for who to give that can multiply. People are looking for security. Okay, you didn't hear what I said. There are people that they are not looking for how to make money, they are looking for how to sustain the money. So venture capitalists, investors, they are not helping you. In case you think they are giving you the money to help you, they are giving you the money to keep their money secure. So their job is to find people with good ideas that they can give you money so you can keep the money coming back or even multiply it for them. Right? So there are a lot of people like that. There's a country in UAE, for instance, they don't count Arabians and UAE citizens as part of the richest people, because if they dare count them, first 10 will be them. So they don't count them, they don't factor them in. So I'm saying that those are people that are ready to invest in people's businesses, but then the number of people building businesses with a system that can scale are few. And that's the reason why we're having sessions like this. Um we have that's why we have companies like TYE, right, to help you, train you, and build systems to actually scale. Okay, so let's run along. So I've talked about why you should not be like everyone else. Let me go back a bit. Um, Sorry, please, I have to start this again. Okay, I said you shouldn't be like everyone else because when you are like everyone else, you are easily replaceable. They're easily replaceable. Let me give an instance. Don't just be a graphic designer. One of the reasons why I started, for instance, when I started geo media, I was a graphics designer, right? I was a graphics designer, but then I realized that there are a lot of designers. So, for instance, I added motions design. From there, I added video editing. From there, I added social media marketing. From there, I added brand strategy. I added logo design and brand strategy. Then I don't know if you understand. Then it became a whole package. You just need marketing. Talk to me. Field marketing. Like I literally became a marketing manager. So if a startup wants to grow their brand or sell their product or service, like just one phone call and I have everything set up. Then I realized that, okay, this is a lot to handle by one person. Let's have a team. So I started training a team on how to do the things I was already doing. That's the idea. You don't train a team because you want to, right? It's not because you want to, it's because you've already built a model and you've seen that, okay, this thing works. Now let me get more people, train them how to do it, and let them do it. That's the idea. There are a lot of companies have not even started yet. I just wrote them 5 years. I'm still looking at them, right? Because I've not built the ones I'm currently on. The Creators Academy, for instance, Growth Clan, and Geometry. I'm trying to let me build these three sufficient enough that they are enough on themselves, can function on their own, and then we have a lot more. Our ideas, our plans is to build companies and dash people out. That's the goal. Build companies and dash people, because it's something we've learned, something we've known, that if you know how to build systems and let them work, literally, I don't know if you understand, you can replicate it. You can replicate it. And the funny thing is, I love when Agnes said many times you have an idea, and if you don't do anything about it, someone else just wakes up and does something about it. And I learned that ideas are like broadcast messages. Permit me to say, God sends ideas like broadcast messages. If you don't do anything about it, somebody else will pick the broadcast and do it. So it's not visions, it's execution that counts. We did one of the biggest tech and business summits in the city in March 28, and that was when we wanted to do that summit. A lot of things fought it, a lot of things will have made it not to work out. But it was not just the vision I had, it was the execution. Execution, we don't have the time to talk about what made it come to life, how it was a lot of details, a lot of plans, a lot of people, a lot of investment and all that. But execution was the reason I brought it to life, right? Anything it is you want to do, beyond just having a vision, have an execution plan. Execution, someone said act first, then arrange later. That's the principle of the lean startup by Eric Moore. If you want to build a startup that thrives, don't build first and then start trying to find people to buy, start trying to find, as you are building, in fact, sell the idea first before you even build, right? I know people complain that many ideas are pre-building, but if you can sell the idea, you get a customer. In fact, people call it pre-order. That's when I learned that capital is not anybody's problem. I struggle to believe it, and I sometimes me as if I think about that, if only I had capital, even I think about it. Really, even if this money came, will I be able to multiply it again to get back how much I want to invest in it? That's when I realize that capital is not the problem, it's the model that is the problem. If the model works, it will raise capital by itself. That's why it's called bootstrap. That's why this conference is a bootstrap conference. I'm saying that you don't have a capital problem, you have a product problem. If your product works, people will invest even before it comes. People have sold ideas. Sometimes, like I said, real estate, for instance, is about selling ideas, right? Same thing, financial markets is selling ideas. Yeah, many people sell. Let me give an example. Even creative industries like maybe videography or design industries, architecture, they are selling ideas. They are giving a visualization of what could be, right? If you can sell ideas, you can sell ideas. Even if you don't have, you can create money from nothing if you can sell ideas. Let me say that in again. Well, I need you to even write this down, that I have too many ideas to be broke. I know too much to be broke. Can you write it somewhere? I want to write it and shout it. I know too much to be broke. God has blessed me with so many ideas that I can't be broke. But you have to be confident enough to sell it. To sell it, sell it first, sell it first, sell it first. Stop thinking about let me build, let me have everything set up, let me have a fine office. I used to laugh when people used to say, CEOs without office. I'm like, are you kidding me? Do you know how much it is to rent an office now? Just looking for unnecessary wahala. You're just looking for how to, feel among. You don't have to prove to people that you're not they are making it. You don't have a point to prove. Be the point. Let me say that again. Stop trying to prove a point. Be the point. I've done things that I think at this stage, like I'm less bothered about a lot of things. And at the times that used to bother me, maybe I'm coming and then I'm not driving a car or I'm wearing the same clothes. I'm now thinking that, it's just for a season. A time will go. If nothing, one of my disciple and mentor said he has decided that he will drive the same car. If you see his car, you'll be thinking he's maybe one. You that you're a government worker, your car is finer than his own, but he has millions, billions in his account. He has multiple pharmacies in different states, and he's still driving a very old car model. And he says he has a target of revenue that if he doesn't meet that target, he's not buying another car. And that car itself, it was a gift that he was given on his wedding. So I'm saying that I've learned that rich people become rich by looking poor, poor people become poor by looking rich. Let me say that again. Rich people become rich by trying to look like it. You don't have to look it, just be it. to prove a point. Just be the point. Just do your thing. Do your thing. There's more capital. Sorry, let me paraphrase that. There's more value than money. Money is temporal. Money is the lowest form of value, right? There are people, for instance, Additional said something that him of today, not him of 10 years ago, him of today, if he loses all his money, he can get it back in 1 week because he's the value. He's the value. Just make a few phone calls, and because of what he knows, what he has done, his track record, people can easily trust him. Look at Dangote's refinery, for instance. They've not launched, they've not gone to the market, but their IPO, they've sold billions already without pre-launch, without going to the market yet. Because Dangote has track record, he has value, he's the value. Right? It's different from Dangote 30 years ago when nobody knew him. So I'm saying that you can do something to yourself that in 3 years, in 4 years, in 5 years, you will become the value. Okay, so I think we're really, really running short of time and we're still in pillar one. But let me just make this one point. Right? I'm saying that forget about where you are currently. You are building something. You are getting somewhere. So just think of full stack. Think of adding stack. This the idea of full stack is not just for a programming team. Programmers just adopted it. The reason why you want to be a full stack is so that you can add skills to what you already have as your skill set, so your value increases. For instance, I'm an architect, for instance, but I'm a rare kind of architect. I think if you count in Nigeria the number of architects that have marketing experience, I don't think they'll be up to 10. I don't know if you understand. It's a whole different ball game that I can not only understand building plans, but I can also pitch it. I can also find. You understand? So I'm saying, don't just be a designer. Be a designer that understands marketing systems. Right? There's a time that some crypto guys are looking for graphic designers, and but their requirement was a graphic designer that understands crypto. Do you understand? I'm saying that don't just be one person. Add an edge. Let me give you a random example. If you go to a general hospital, you pay a general hospital doctor. Guess their pay maybe 200K, maybe 300K. But then a specialist doctor, for instance, a specialist doctor, maybe 400K, 500, 600. But then think about it, a specialist, like maybe an eye doctor. There's even one, I think he's the only person in Nigeria that can conduct surgeries. People pay to come and watch him do surgeries. And you can imagine how much his consultation fees will be. That's because the more you specialize, don't just be the best, be the only. Strive to be the only person that can do what you can do. Right? It's good to be the best, be the best, but there will always be another best. Or be the only person that has your stack, that has your kind of skills. Don't just be a cybersecurity specialist. Be a cybersecurity specialist, also a content creator that has a fine face, that can talk about things, that has influence. In fact, currently the best capital that cannot be replaced at this time is influence. AI can build influence because AI is not a person. In fact, people use AI to build influence, but it's still people that have influence. Influence is the main thing that drives markets. This guy, for instance, Elon Musk, he sells influence. Influence is what he uses to build what he does. So that's his capital, literally. His name is the capital. I need you to think about your name as a capital. So don't just think of how to make money fast. Like I'm already spilling one of the laws of the 1%, 0.1%. They don't think how to make money fast. They think, how can I make money, make more money? How can I make my money to make more money? So even if it means temporary abating temporary pleasures, even if it means temporary, let me enjoy it for now. Let me be broke for now. Being broke is not the same as being poor. That's the mistake our generation makes. That's why there are a lot of young people making money. Let's think about it. I have so many in my church. They make a lot of money, but I look at them. I know in 5 years they'll still be broke because they don't know systems. They don't understand that it's not by making money. Their parents that are selling tomatoes in the market have built houses from tomatoes, but them, they are crypto traders. They've made money, but all the best they have is an iPhone that loses value the moment you buy it. The best some people have is a car that loses value. They invest in liabilities instead of assets. Liabilities lose value the moment you buy it. Assets multiply value, they multiply money for you. So anything you want to purchase, you are thinking, can this thing make more money for me? There are a lot of things I would have wanted to buy, but I just think, can this thing make more money for me? I was talking about CEOs with an office, and I thought, if I rent this office, how much will it take from me? If I pay rent, if I pay light bills, I pay taxes, I pay all this, I pay. I realize that I'm spending a lot more money maintenance. It's not necessary. Some things are not necessary, and knowing it early that you're just a young person. That's why I have to start with that. Remove pressure from your head. You're just, and I don't want to say just. You have time on your side. I don't think there's anybody that is over 35 right? For the average, let me leave that statistics, but I'm saying that don't be pressured that yeah, just relax, take it easy. I wish this was a physical meeting and I've said, look to the person to your left, I say, take it easy, rub your hand on your chest and say, bro, take it easy. I'm going to be stopping in a few seconds, all right? Take it easy. I know we're still on the first slide. We have to, we're out of time. We're out of time. So, take questions. So, I've talked about don't sell what everyone is selling. Be the best and be the only person, right? I've talked about building systems. Let systems work for you. Invest in knowledge capital. God, don't have the time to talk about this, but I have friends that read 4 books at a time. I have people that are as busy as they are. This guy, there's this man, he runs churches, runs business, but he says he reads 3 books every month, every week. 3 books. That's Matthew Ashimolo. None of us are as rich or as busy as him, but he ensures he reads 3 books every day. That's how important knowledge capital is. Even as I've taken courses, I've spent money, bought courses, and I'm talking 6 figures, 5 figures, bought courses, and I'm still thinking of the next one to buy. Sometimes we don't even buy the courses just because it's because of the people we get to meet or see in those systems. All right, people will get to experience, people will get to have um relationship with. For instance, one of the best blessings of my masters was the people I met. I met people that were bosses of my friends. Let me give an example. For instance, my friend worked for somebody that did her IT with someone. That person was now my classmate. Do you understand? That's why many people go for MBAs just to have relationships, right? So I'm going to have to wrap up now. I'm really behind time. All right. Come on, who is with me? Who is getting what I'm saying? Okay, so let me just give an action point. Now, this one I've talked about how to get money long term. In 5 minutes, let me just explain how. You need money fast. Someone, you have been drinking Gary since yesterday. You need money ASAP. So I'm going to show you in a few seconds to make how to get your 5 customers in less than 5 days. All right. So who is with me? I think I would stop the slide. If not, I will not. I'll just send the slide to us. If I keep using the slide, I will not go fast enough. All right. So how to get? I need an example. Let's use someone as an example. Share your business. The first person to share his business, I would use him as a case study. Let me check the charts. First person to share your business. First person to share his business in the comment. Okay. All right. I see Ocean notes. Though others might not know what you sell. Others might not know what you sell, but I think me, I already know what you sell. So maybe just share to them. Maybe you can turn on the mic, share what you sell.
Hi, everybody. So, Oceanos is an
Ocean notes.
agro-tech company, and we do food value addition. Like rice has some basic nutrients, so we add, like, let's say, vitamins and some more nutrients to make it more nutritious, right? For people, let's say, for people that have eye problems and stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know if
All
it's
right.
there.
Did we get that? So let's have one more person. One more person. Just share what you do too. Okay, since let's just use just that one because of time. Because of time. So let me give an example of one of his products. Like I said, I know him already. He One of his products is, I don't know if he still sell it, rice that cooks in a few minutes. Do you still sell that? Rice that cooks shorter at a shorter time frame. Awesome. Also, so let's use that as an example. I remember when I was at Hot Price, I really liked your product. My only concern was the medical, um, whether it was NAFDAC certified. That was just the only thing that if you have that cleared, I feel you do really well. So if I want to sell it, yeah, one of the first things I will identify is who is my target audience, who actually needs what I'm selling, who needs this thing literally. All right. So, and I need to put myself in their shoes and then ask, will these people actually buy? If I was them, would I buy? And how much would I buy it for? right? So one of the things I also want to say is price is not a factor. We don't have the time to talk about it. We'll have a session in FUT Mina maybe next week or so. So maybe those that get in would I'll talk about pricing and a lot of that. But pricing is not a problem. In fact, pricing is your advantage. Let me just give an example very quickly. If I give you a 5,000 naira watch and I give you a 12,000 naira watch, which do you think is more quality? Obviously, I don't know if you get. So in fact, if you, it's easier to sell the 12K than to sell the 5K, because it's mental position in people's minds that because it's more expensive, it has more value, even if it's the same thing. So price is not your problem. Right, your problem is your message, the message you are passing across. And most of the time, our challenge is we are trying to be complex, we're trying to look cool. I used to use this word, but okay, let me just not use it. You're trying to look posh, you're trying to look, but being posh is not what gives you money. You can be posh and still be broke. Like I said, there's posh for long term, you're building brand for long term. But now, these two people that need money ASAP, ASAP. So what you should be thinking is, how can I sell now? And I need to make my message as simple as possible, as relatable as possible. Many times when I want to draft a marketing message, I'm thinking, can I explain this thing to a 7-year-old? Do you understand? I always redraft it. Can a 7-year-old understand? Which one is I do brand communications and marketing for 7-figure agencies that want to scale from startups to scale? Like, it just sounds cool, but really people can't relate. So I try and make it as simple as possible. Do you want to sell more faster? I can help you. Like, I don't know if you understand. So maybe when you now get, you cannot. So what you should be thinking of is the people that, let's use your product as an example. Rice. Who needs rice that cooks fast? Maybe students that are busy and are preparing for lectures, but not even all students. Some of them will just prefer to buy food, right? So now let's go specific. Who are the students that like cooking? Girls. Girls like cooking. So my target audience now are girls that like cooking and would rather want to cook fast, or have their food cook faster. Now, why would those girls want to buy from me? For instance, one, they may not like me because I'm a guy, so they don't trust guys. I don't know, I cannot give you the psychology behind that in a few seconds, but they would rather buy from another girl, from another friend that recommends it, right? Because they feel, you don't know what you're saying, you're just trying to sell your product. This thing I just told you about, it's one of the reasons why people don't really buy real estate from real estate marketers, because they feel you don't own a land and you're selling it. It's better when someone like this guy, um, names are skipping my head. This guy that runs GTEX Holdings, like he has done land banking for years. He owns lands for years, so they know that he's running his program. I have a friend that he will not buy land for you if you don't own a land. Just an example, for instance. So you should be talking as someone that has the experience. Additional, for instance, he has the experience, so he's telling you from experience. Like, this is what I'm doing. Come and join me. You get? So now your strategy. If I was to be the one selling, my strategy is to not be me that will sell. I'll get someone that has influence, that is a lady and that cooks, to be the one to help me sell. And this is the secret that I want to share. It's better to have a small part of a big thing than a big part of nothing. I think if I stop here, I've said a lot already. It's better to have a small part of a big thing than a big part of nothing. Right? Sometimes you are shouting buy, 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 but you're shouting to just a few people. How many people are your status? 20, 50? Right? Sometimes I have 200, but then even like, I don't know if you get, sometimes even with 200 people, they still, it's not enough. Your problem is not that what you're saying is not good. More people are not seeing it. So it's usually a traction, a visibility problem. We need more eyes, and that's why one of the things we do is ads. My company, we run ads for people. This one has even been disturbing me, and I'm saying no, I don't want to, because it's stressing me a lot. Right? Sometimes I even increase the price, and he'll still come for it, because I don't know if you understand, they understand that targeting is very important. Getting people to see what you are selling is very important. More people see it, more people buy it. It's a number, it's a game of numbers. I cannot call 100 people and one person will not buy. At the times when I've sent almost 50 DMs in a day, and that's just it. If I sit down, I can send 100 cold DMs in a day. I don't know if you get. Sometimes, funny enough, out of that 100, only one person might respond. Do you understand? There's no how. If you have that type of figures, ads now multiplies it. For instance, you know that if 1,000 people see what they are selling, at least 20 people will buy. How much does it take to get 1,000? Just 5K. If 20 people buy, how much will it be? I'll make at least 50K. 50K minus 5K, you've made 45K. Do You understand? That's how those numbers work. Now, okay, maybe you don't want to run ads. You want to start meetings. Be intentional about messaging people. Have your contact list. Start messaging people one by one. Hello, and I don't have the time to talk about how to craft your message, but I'm giving you one big secret. Craft it in a way that is as easy for a 7-year-old to understand. Don't complicate things. Don't make it look cool or sound cool. Just as simple as possible. This is the problem. This is the solution. This is my offer. Let me say it again. This is the problem. This is the solution. This is my offer. Maybe in another class we'll talk about that. But I'm saying that when you have that, that's the best copywriting framework. I didn't take a copywriting class, but I'm one of the best copywriters because I understand that it's problems, solutions, and offers. People buy offers. People buy offers. Offers are things that make people feel stupid to say no. Right? Have you ever gone to buy something and you're like, ah, this is a giveaway. My God, I can't lose this. And you're calling people. I think it even happened to me just recently. I was calling people to, I need to get this, I need to get this. And the guy made his money. Do you understand? But me, I'm like, this is a one-time giveaway offer. People buy emotionally, then they justify logically. Nobody buys because it makes sense. They buy because emotionally it's a one-time offer. I need to get this, if not I'll lose the moment. Right? So you need to learn to make offers. I recommend the book $1,000 Billion Offers by Alex Hormozy. That book will change your life, trust me. Right? I've said so much, but let me just tie it here. So I was saying that if you have this person that has visibility, a lady, for instance, that has an audience, maybe social coordinator, a girl that's popular or something that cooks anyway, and then have her sell your product, and for every product she sells, she gets maybe 40%. Let's just use 40% because you are the owner. So you get 60%, she gets 40%. Even if she does a video, she content markets it, whatever, she gets 40%. You realize that you literally sell a whole lot more. People will buy a whole lot more. In fact, than how much you would make if you were just selling it yourself. Because beyond ads, referrals and reviews sell a lot more. Ads is you promoting yourselves. Referrals and influencer videos is people promoting you. That's why people pay influencers. I've done both. I worked for a company, we had a large budget, but the budget we spent on influencers they drove more results than the one we spent on ads. Because ads, people were like, ah, I beg you. But when they see someone they know and recognize talking about your products, that's put you on a new level. So I'm going to tie it up here, please. I think I've said enough, right? I've told you what to do. At least I've given Oceanwoods a killer strategy to sell and to get more people to see what he's selling and also to buy instantly. All right. Somebody said something. I think I should also consider. Okay, let's just consider the lady that said baking. I don't know if we have the time. I have to ask Agnes at this point. I think we're out of time. Agnes, do we have time to take baking?
Yes, sir. We can take baking the questions.
Okay, so if you have questions, please just type it down. Type it down. Let's give just 5 minutes. So if I was to be a baker, yes, I was to be a baker. Now I'm saying this because I've also worked with. I was a digital marketer for one of the best bakery firms that literally came to me now from Abuja, and it was a long story anyway. It was a long story, but the point was that their stuff was so good that sometimes we ourselves were spending our money on, when you are not, your people are not buying what you're selling, then there's a problem, right? Your stuff is good when even the people that are around you wants to buy it. Your friends will not whine you. Your friends can be, friends can be hailing and whining you, but if they're not buying from you, that means there's something wrong. So my point is that their products were so good that you know but the thing is their pricing was very expensive. I'm not sure how it is now. I think now, maybe because of culture and the way things are, sometimes you start to compromise here and there. But then what I'm trying to say is quality always sells. Quality sells. Alright. If I was to be a baker, honestly, I'll not be everybody's baker. I won't. I won't. In fact, those people, but one time they asked the manager and they said, why are your products expensive? She said she doesn't brand as affordable. That's not her brand. And every day they have people trooping in to buy every day. In fact, they only had one product that was 100 naira, and apart from that, the next one was 1 2, and always in 2 hours the one was getting finished. Someone buys every day on her way to work because the quality was so good. I don't know if you understand. Quality gives you the opportunity to set your price. You're the only person that does what you do, so you can create your price. right? When you are the only person that does something, you can determine your scope. And another thing is those guys were not selling food; they were selling experience. Right? That's another thing I would do. I would sell the experience. Now, the experience is what you make me feel like. If you make me feel like I'm just an abero, you tie it inside paper, wrap inside paper, and give me a 200 naira. But then you package it in a box, in fact, a scented box. You give me a complimentary card, you wrap it well. I don't know if you understand. And you tell me it's 5k, something that I bought somewhere else, so I can buy it for you 5k because you make me feel expensive. People buy feelings. You made me feel. In fact, let me give you an example of why this will work. You too, if you're on campus, there are a lot of restaurants. I noticed that last time I came to FUT, there are a lot of restaurants that are now up. But if you have to take your babe out, you know the one you take her to. You know the one you can't be caught inside. You know what will happen to your steez if they catch you there. Alright. You are thinking, please, even her too should be looking at you somehow. That of all places, see where you brought me. Alright. You are thinking the expensive ones. Are you seeing the message? That's just my point. And the funny thing is, you will think, why be expensive? I will lose money. Let me sell small, small. To shock you that being expensive affords you the chance to improve your quality. Because the more you try to compromise on quality, on so that your price can be lower, you realize that you're just becoming like everybody else, and then you are frustrated. You are struggling to keep afloat, struggling to keep up, and you're just there. But then the fact that you are able to price differently, you can afford quality atmosphere, quality packaging, you can keep your standards, you can, I don't know if you get, just makes business a whole lot more. You're even happy, and people like doing business with happy people. It shows in what you are doing. Right, so I've said a lot of things about baking. Insist on quality, have your own recipe, be your own standard, do things in a way that no one else is doing. All right, and take feedback. I think that's the last thing I'll say about baking. Take people's feedback to shock you. Let me give an example before I close on baking. So there's this person that we sold something, and then the girl did a review on TikTok, and it was a bad, I don't know what happened exactly. It was a very bad one. It was messed up. But we were so sure that it wasn't us. So I tried getting her to put it down. She didn't, because she was enjoying the farms. She was enjoying her page was getting a lot of views and likes. So she didn't want to take it down. And we were like, okay. And I had to appeal and say, okay. So after I conversed, and then but the manager said something that stuck with me. She said, tell her please, like she's an asset because someone that has gotten that many views, we'll give her for free. Like, let her come, we'll give her because if she can make good reviews, she has already in one way or the other, she has even advertised the company anyway. But then, like, those type of people are assets. People that give you reviews are assets. That's why I have someone that um, brands like Samsung, they pay them to make reviews. Oh, you don't know that that's why those people are doing reviews. All those people doing gadget reviews. It's not because they're trying to help you. They are not trying to help you choose a better gadget. They are doing it because they know that very soon brands will pay them to do reviews of their products. All right. So I've just given a hint on that. So value people's reviews, value people that make reviews. And there's this thing called critics for restaurants. The reason why they go about people well, because if a critic should comment about your restaurant and they give a good comment, you have blown. So welcome reviews and use it as feedback. When people tell you something is wrong, improve on it and then just get better from there. Do the same thing I told Oceanos as well. Have people that are popular. Honestly speaking, that's the secrets that I actually used to get a brand to grow in just less than 3 months. In fact, in their first months, they were already doing six figures. Literally, people were trooping, and the only thing I did was I found popular people and I invited them. And the only thing I gave them was a free one, a free package. That was all. Like, just take it. And how much did the free one cost? Maybe just 3k. And I did a video with them and I collaborated with them and we posted it. It was a very nice video. Both pages benefited from the traction. But then a lot of people came to check out the same thing we posted about. I don't know if you get. There was a place where, okay, my videos were actually good. That was part of why. But then, like, the fact that the person was there, I know this girl. I know this. This, if she's buying them this, and then they came to check it out too. So you can do that as well too. Find people that are popular, give them for free. Ask them. That's why people give out souvenirs. That's why they give out free shirts, free samples. So when you make a video of it, all right. So I think I can stop here. Any questions? Any questions? Who is the author of the book $1,000 Billion Offer? Alex Homozy. Alex Homozy. Alex. I'm typing it in the comments. Is there any other question before Agnes takes over? Awesome, awesome. So, in the absence, I would like you to do just one thing for me, just one thing. Okay, two things anyway. Sorry about that. I think I need to. The second one, I have to take permission of Agnes first. But the first one is that I need you to go and um type on your comments, type on your status something you learned today, and then just type something you learned, then tag the young entrepreneurs. Type it on your. I think you have their social handles. Type something anyway. Tag your entrepreneurs. The second one I wanted to ask is you can actually, if you want to reach out on our page, you can find our page. Um, Either find Instagram or LinkedIn. You know my name. You can ask Agnes for the name. You have to go through her actually. Like, can unless if she agrees and she shares it herself, our social page, our name and page, you can reach out there and follow our page. We have a lot of things that we're cooking, and we believe it will be an awesome one for us all. All right. So I think I can stop here. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for this wonderful talks. I really learn, and that's the more reason why we TYE, we don't just come and then just pick a random speaker and just try to create events for people just to come and then probably, or we pick people with experience, we pick people with insight, people who have gone to the industry, have seen things, and then they're back to share with us. So thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel Jibogun. Thank you very much. Please, can we appreciate him? Can we appreciate him? Can we give him anything, thumbs up, hearts, anything? Okay, so he spoke. Can we do that? Can we do that? So I think he spoke about many things, right? Many things. I think many things stood out. So stop proving points become the point, right? Talked about see, I learned one thing far back, yes, and the thing you structure my mind. You feel as if you know business, you feel as if you understand money in business until you lose it. He said something so remarkable. And one of the things he said remarkable is he said you will get money, but you will lose it so fast if you don't understand the strategies in that particular sphere. Yes, I think the time I think I lose a huge amount of my savings and stuff like that. I invested in something I thought I understood, and then after I lose it, I understood that I don't know that thing. I had to go back and sit down and start learning from scratch. At least I just try to mastery, and then I go back again and then I invest. But the whole idea is not to give up, right? Everything is achievable. That's one thing I know. Everything is possible. There, no matter the circumstances, no matter the whole location, everything is very, very possible, right? So I will be opening the space for questions and answer. So basically, there will be no typing. I want us to unmute our mic and speak, and it will be brief, right? Just state your whatever your questions in probably limited seconds. Or yes. So I don't know. So who has a question for the speaker? I think he has answered so many things, but who still has any question that he needs to reflect on? And it's so anybody, any answers you feel they can be clarified? I mean, sorry, questions you feel they can be clarified. And if he has answered your question, let me see your answer. If though you had a question before and he answered it, let me see your answer. I see Innocent Adaji. I see Anisha, Dorcas, and oh, we have one person, two persons that wants to ask question three. So can you just define that you actually learned, right? He answered your question, right? Okay, okay, okay. So that's great. That's great. So it's nice having Mr. Emmanuel with us. So I believe that we are going out to implement, because the whole essence is not to just stop at the place of knowledge. I learned something recently that there's a roadmap to knowledge, right? It's called the compound effect of knowledge, where one knowledge takes you to a point, you need another one to take you to another point, right? So if you compact all of them, that's like your full structure or your full steps to get. So it's something we need to monitor to. So even as I've heard Mr. Emmanuel, even as you're going out there, you should go and implement. He talked about using what I tell you, there's something he just said that I'm going to go. I will start very soon. I think I'm a realtor. I give houses to students in FET here, and also we operate in Abuja. We sell land and stuff like that. And but there's something he said. Using influential people, meaning proxy, meaning people will not trust you as a guy. Meaning, like, let's assume you own a company and then you maybe the people your target audience are much more of the Gen Zs or guys. So the best strategy is use a handsome lady, a beautiful lady, a beautiful lady that can you get advertised for you, and then you get more clients because clients will turn up. Clients are going to turn up. So using proxy, that's one thing I learned, and definitely I'm going to go and implement it anywhere I go or my business, and that's a strategy for me to. So thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. So I think over to Mr. Bure, he will be taking the closing remark. If anything is missing, we'll communicate to you guys on the group. And please do well to follow all our social media handles and then follow Mr. Emmanuel. I think he's teaching a lot. I've once sat down under his teaching, and I'm sitting down under his teachings, and we'll still do more together. Thank you very much. So over to you, Mr. Bure.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for that. I want to first of all take the time to say thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being there. Um, I think we understand in a very, the speaker said a lot of things about TYE, but most importantly, even about values to just in case it will be dropped in the WhatsApp platform. I believe each and everybody here is part of that WhatsApp platform. The recording will be dropped there. The recording will also be dropped on YouTube. Yes, we also have a YouTube page in some of the detailed points you mentioned. Believe you me, they will be needed for the future, and they will be needed for our journey, most especially in this entrepreneurial world. I mean, that gets written every day. Some of the things you've heard, you will pay a lot of money to hear that. Yes, you pay a lot of money to actually hear them, but you have an opportunity in this platform to actually hear them firsthand from people who are in it, people who are putting in it. So I want to really, really celebrate us for being that. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate your presence. Yes, and I want us to celebrate Emmanuel. Please, can we just celebrate him one more time? Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here. Please, can we celebrate him? Emojis, just let him feel loved and appreciated. Please just celebrate him. Do well to celebrate him. Yes, I mean, taking him out of the schedule to be here with us, we are really, really grateful. Yes, so we are the TYE, the young entrepreneurs. Yes, here we're very, very, very based here in FET, but we're more what we call that now, your entrepreneurial life out there. We want to put your businesses, your ideas, your skills into action to build something that actually will impact the market in Nigeria. Believe you me, to make any tangible impact in the market today, you will really need to take a step and an action, a leap of faith. It's always all about pushing yourself out there. Okay. Yes, so I want to really appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for your emails to also reach out to you. This program continues, yes, next month. We'll also be doing something, so please join us. Expect, anticipate. Something is actually cooking here in TYA. Yes, so please join us. We're building a team. We're building something that will really help ideas. And just in case you have ideas, you have skills that you really want to this team, believe you me, it is a building team. There's a growing team also. You're very need a word of prayer. Yes. Anyone, please, can anyone volunteer for that, please? Yes, if you're volunteering, please just raise your hand.
Okay, yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
Is that
thank you
prayer,
so much,
sir?
sir.
Just to be sure.
Yes, 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 sir.
Okay. So let's be in the mood of prayer. Father, we worship your holy name. We give you all the glory and all the praise. We honor you for the wisdom that you have imparted us through your son, Jibogun. Lord, we worship you, we honor you. We know that you are the one that gives success. And Lord, we ask that as we go to implement these things that we have studied, that we have heard, give us good success in Jesus' name. Thank you, Lord, because you always hear us. Thank you, Lord, because we will not fail. For in Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen.
Amen. Amen. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. All right, see you guys next time, next week, next month, or Friday like this. First Friday of the month. See you next month, and we'll have a good time again, even as we had this good time together. Thank you very much. Right, right, bye. You can talk out now. Talk out now.